BookTube. I'm here on a snowy April day. Yes, snow, 3 inches, with my Friday reads. So if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I went a little graphic novel crazy this week, and I ended up reading 6 graphic novels. So I'll tell you about those quickly. Afar, which is about a girl who can astral project onto other planets, but she's also dealing with family issues. It takes place in this really cool kind of science fiction post-technology world, and I really enjoyed it. The colors are cool. The cultures that she creates, because, you know, she goes to different planets, are interesting too, even if she's only there for like a page. You do get an interesting snapshot of these worlds. Then I read I Killed Adolf Hitler, which sounds like a fun romp, and it's only 50 pages, but let me tell you, it's an emotional roller coaster. Jason is able to manipulate your emotions in such a short amount of time with few words. Yeah, it's about an assassin who's hired to kill Hitler, and about so much more than that, but I will talk about it in a review. Then I Hate Fairyland. I read volumes 1 and 2, which is about a young girl who gets trapped in a fairy tale world for 27 years and hates it, so she goes on a mindless killing spree. It's just a very fun story to read. Then I read Aether and Empire, which is a traditional steampunk late 19th century journey to Mars plotline. I broached this really intriguing theme about seeing and about using your eyes for things, but it really didn't go into as much depth as I liked it to, so I'm gonna see if there's other volumes out there that maybe explore this kind of theme deeper. And then I read Shudder, Volume 1, which is kind of like this futuristic Indiana Jones, Lara Croft type story about a girl who goes on adventures with her fathers, but then discovers he has some secrets, like perhaps she isn't the only child. And at one point, the characters from Richard Scarry's world are trying to assassinate her, which is interesting. Yeah, and I'm definitely going to continue on with that, trying to figure out what's going on with all her siblings. I finished one book, and it wasn't on my TBR. I totally have veered off from that. I read Jacob Have I Loved, which is a YA from the 1980. It was published. It's about a girl who feels overshadowed by her sister, her twin sister, her whole life. But it's about so much more than that, and it has so much more depth than I've ever encountered in more recent YA. I might be reading the wrong YA, but like this story is amazing. We get, you know, the story of her life. We get an examination of gender roles in the 1940s, life on a small fishing island, you know, the expectations that you set out versus, you know, what actually happens, you know, disappointment, anger, dealing with all these things. It is really, really good. One of my favorite books. I'm currently reading Perdido Street Station by China Miéville, which is more than what it says on the back cover, for sure. In the acknowledgement page, it says that, you know, Mervyn Peake has influenced him, and you can see that in how important he's making the setting of New Crobuzon. We're really getting a feel for the place and the history of it and the cultures within it. But the book is not just about the scientist that we meet on the back of the page, who is, you know, coming up with some really cool ideas and explaining them very well. I mean, I understand them, and I don't really have a strong history in science. But it's also about an artist named Lynn, and she has a scarab, like a beetle, for a head. And the way they make art is so interesting, and every other chapter is, almost every other chapter is from her perspective, so it's not just about the scientist, we also get the artist as well. I'm also reading Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie, and man, the way he has with words, and with concepts, and with metaphors, and it's just a really fun book to read. Really fun, so far. And then Fairy Queen by Edmund Spenser, just, you know, a 16th century awesome poem. I can't get into more modern poetry, more recent poetry, because I haven't found one that depends on like these really honed literary techniques that, you know, the rhythm and alliteration and consonants and assonance and like the words becoming something else than just words on a page. I love it. I'm going to try reading The Spaceman of Bohemia, which is about a young farmer boy who grows up to be the first Czech astronaut, and as he's on a journey to Venus, he has philosophical conversations with a giant alien spider. So that sounds quite interesting. That's what I'll be reading this week and what I have read last week. So let me know what you have finished and plan on reading and all that fun stuff, and thank you for watching.